Hello everyone, my name is Golab and welcome to another series of our YouTube tutorials with GM Network. So previously we discussed the structure of prokaryotic cell. So today we are going to continue with another topic on eukaryotic cell. So unlike prokaryotes, our eukaryotes, they have nucleus. So they have this membrane bound organelle which store genetic information. And not only nucleus, our eukaryotic cells actually, they have different type of this membrane bound organelle like mitochondria. They have Golgi apparatus, they have also endoplasmic reticulum and so forth. So today's lecture, let's analyze the structure of our eukaryotic cell. Let's see different parts of our eukaryotic cells and their functions. So let's analyze this structure of eukaryotic cell. So actually, this is the structure of our eukaryotic cell. And by starting, let's start with the common structure that every single eukaryotic cell have. And this is the structure labeled by number 1 here. So on outermost layer, we have this structure here, the semi-permeable phospholipid bilayer known as our plasma membrane, or also known as our cell membrane. And the main function of our cell membrane is actually it helps in cell signaling and cell communication. Also, our cell membrane acts as attachment point where different type of molecules and protein can attach themselves to the cells. Also, our cell membrane it helps in cell transportation. So different types of materials can be transported into the cell and out of the cell via through our cell membrane. So some eukaryotic cells, they have another additional protective barrier known as cell wall, like our plant cell. So our plant cell, they have this additional protective barrier known as cell wall, and cell wall actually play a very important role as it protects our cell from our external environment. Our cell wall also helps to provide the shape and size of our cell. So that's actually another protective barrier which some eukaryotic cells do have. And for example, of those eukaryotes which have this another protective barrier are our plant. So plant cells, they do have this another protective barrier known as cell wall, which function in protecting the cell from external environment. It also gives the shape and size of our cell. So let's look another structure here labeled by number 2, and this is our nucleus actually. So nucleus, this is organelle which stores genetic information labeled by number 2 here. So we store genetic information inside our eukaryotic cell in this organelle labeled by number 2 known as our nucleus. And at the core, at the heart of our nucleus, we have this structure here labeled by number 3 known as nucleolus. And the main function of this structure here, nucleolus, is to synthesize our incomplete ribosome. So incomplete ribosomes are synthesized within this structure here known as our nucleolus. And nucleolus is present at the center of our nucleus. So we have this structure here labeled by number 3 known as nucleolus. So let's move to this another structure here labeled by number 4, and this is known as rough endoplasmic reticulum. So we have this structure here of our rough endoplasmic reticulum, and the main function of our rough endoplasmic reticulum is it involved in direct synthesis of our protein. So if we analyze the structure of this rough endoplasmic reticulum, we will see that this rough endoplasmic reticulum actually they have this ribosome which is attached on their membrane. So this dot here which you see is actually our ribosomes, and the main function of ribosomes, as we all know, is synthesis of our protein. So we have this structure here known as rough endoplasmic reticulum, which is involved in direct synthesis of our protein. And we also have this structure here labeled by number 5, which is our smooth endoplasmic reticulum. And if we look at this smooth endoplasmic reticulum, they do not have any ribosome attached on its surface, on its membrane. And this suggests that our smooth endoplasmic reticulum, they are not involved in direct synthesis of our protein. What they do is they help in synthesis or production of our fat. They also help to detoxify different type of drugs inside our cell. So this is structure here labeled by number 5 is a smooth endoplasmic reticulum, and they help in production of our lipid or fats. They also help in detoxifying different type of drug which is present inside our cell. So another important thing which I want to add is inside our rough endoplasmic reticulum, we are synthesizing protein. So, and this protein actually, which is synthesized inside this rough endoplasmic reticulum, end up either going out of the cell or they end up aligning themselves on the surface of our inside the surface of our cell membrane. So this protein which is synthesized inside our rough endoplasmic reticulum end up either being transported out of the cell or they end up being inside this surface of our cell. So that's actually a very important point which I wanted to add. So apart from this structure number 5, let's move to structure number 6. So once these proteins are actually synthesized within our rough endoplasmic reticulum, this protein, they are going to be packaged. So in this structure here labeled number 6, which is Golgi apparatus, which is named after scientists which invented it. So Golgi apparatus, this is a structure which serves as a package to pack up our protein as well as to modify it. So our protein, after being synthesized inside our rough endoplasmic reticulum, the package of this protein as well as its modification is done inside this structure known as Golgi apparatus, labeled with by number 6. So this protein, after being packaged and being modified, for example, we are adding some sugar. By adding some sugar toward our protein, this protein, after being modified, they go out of our Golgi apparatus inside our vesicle known as secretory vesicle. So this vesicle here labeled by number 7 are known as secretory vesicle, and the main function of our secretory vesicle is to carry our protein after being modified inside our Golgi apparatus. So this is actually structure number 7 here. So let's move on to structure number 8, and this is our ribosomes. And unlike the ribosomes which is present inside our rough endoplasmic reticulum, these 3 ribosomes, which is labeled by number 8, synthesize despite of synthesizing protein, but the protein which is synthesized inside our 3 ribosomes end up to be inside our cytosol. So the common difference, the difference between the protein which is synthesized within these 3 ribosomes and the protein which is synthesized inside our endoplasmic reticulum is that the protein which is synthesized here inside our rough endoplasmic reticulum end up being transported out of the cell, or they end up aligning themselves inside this surface of our cell membrane, while this protein which is synthesized inside our 3 ribosomes always end up being into our cytosol. So let's move with another structure labeled by number 9, and this structure is mitochondria, and the mitochondria is actually similar to our nuclear power plants. And the reason we are this structure said to be similar is that our mitochondria actually are used to transform one form of energy to another. So inside our mitochondria is when we actually generate our energy in form of ATP, and this is actually the proper form that our body can use to power different type of metabolic activities inside our body. So our energy production is done inside this structure here labeled by number 9, known as mitochondria. So So let's move to another structure here labeled by number 10, and this is our lysosome. And the lysosome actually is inside our lysosome we have a very low pH, and inside our lysosome as well we have our hydrolytic enzymes, and these hydrolytic enzymes, they function in breakdown or killing unwanted material inside the cell. So all unwanted material present inside the cell are being broken down and being destroyed inside this structure here known as our lysosome, labeled by number 10. So let's move to another structure here, our last structure here labeled by number 11. So this is a structure here known as our peroxisomes or microbody. So we have this very small body known as peroxisome, and the main function of our peroxisome is actually it helps in cell detoxification of drugs. So different type of drugs which are present inside our body are being detoxified inside this structure here known as peroxisome, and the reason they are destroyed inside this structure is because our peroxisome contain this chemical substance known as hydrogen peroxide actually. So inside our peroxisome we have this structure known we have this chemical substance known as hydrogen peroxide, and the hydrogen peroxide play a very important role in our cell detoxification, and mainly this type of our peroxisome are playing a very important part inside our liver. So our liver cells, because they function they function in detoxification, they have many of these peroxisome inside peroxisome inside our liver cells. And lastly, let's see the structure here known as our cytoplasm, labeled by number 12. And this is actually structure which acts as a ground, where it contains different type of cell organelle like our nucleus, we have our mitochondria, we have Golgi apparatus, and so forth. And different type of cell structure, different type of other cell structure, such as ribosomes, lysosomes, and so forth, they are contained inside this region here known as our cytoplasm. So cytoplasm acts as a ground which stores different type of organelle and the structure inside our cell. So that's all about our structure of our eukaryotic cell. You have seen different parts of our eukaryotic cell, and you have seen their functions. So that's all on our eukaryotic cell. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, please be sure to subscribe and share with your friend so that you will not miss any of these our YouTube tutorials. So let's meet on the next lecture, where we are going to see the details of these parts of our eukaryotic cell. We are going to see each one of these parts in much more details in their function. So thank you so much. Thank you for watching.